Malaysian 370. Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
A lifelong wait, but what are they waiting for? Nobody really knows. Things are still how they've been. Every month, these peoples whose loved ones are unfortunate MH370 passengers gather in this dimly lit room. Some shed silent tears, some hold their own hands tightly, some scream uncontrollably, "We need them to come back." And some others hold on to the hope that nothing went wrong. The plane isn't somewhere under the ocean waves, and that ones they're waiting for are still alive. Just like how the plane made thunderous noises as it was crashing. The crying and growling of these desperate people are just haunting. Year after year, investigation after investigation, yet nobody has managed to grasp what exactly happened to 239 cursed members of the crew. Besides causing absolute tragedies and leaving permanent wounds, the mysterious disappearance of the whole of the MH370 crew has become one of the least likely to be solved missing cases in the history of aviation. Timeline of the tragedy. From runway 32R at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Flight 370 of Malaysia Airlines started leaving for Beijing when March the 8th, 2014 began. With 239 occupants, including 227 passengers and 12 crew members. Everything was just fine until the staff at Beijing Capital International Airport reported that the Boeing 777 hadn't yet arrived, even though it was past the scheduled time. People who were waiting there initially saw notifications that the flight would be coming a bit late. That wouldn't be a big deal, just a few more minutes of sitting at the airport. But it wasn't long until Malaysian Airlines announced that the plane had gone missing. It lost contact with the air traffic control team at Kuala Lumpur around an hour after taking off. The last trace recorded showed that it was near the territory of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Immediately, search and rescue teams from many countries were sent to identify the location of the plane. The quest started at the Southeast Asian Sea and the Strait of Malacca. On March the 15th, Malaysia received a clue from satellite data, suggesting that the airplane had crossed the southern Indian Ocean. The Australian government stepped in, saying that they'd take charge of the search within the South Indian Ocean region. However, the absence of positive results continued. The Malaysian government decided to end the search and rescue phase, changing the objective to search and recover on March the 24th. In May, MH370 ministerial tripartite meeting took place with the presence of Malaysian, Chinese and Australian representatives. They decided to make an even bolder move, embarking on a new, ambitious quest with an expanded searching area. Led by Australia and China and Malaysia being assistants, the quest sparked new hopes in the family members of the occupants. In July 2015, they found a piece of marine debris that resembled an aircraft flaperon, and a suitcase on the beach and Reunion, a French island in the western Indian Ocean, about 4,000 kilometers west of the underwater search area. Later on, the piece was confirmed to be from a Boeing 777 by scientists and manufacturers, and many others were discovered over time. However, nothing proved enough proof to make an official statement of the exact location of the plane, and the Malaysian government had to announce they ended the search on May 29, 2018. The investigation failed to provide information on the exact reason why MH370 lost contact with air traffic control and mysteriously disappeared, leaving family members of the missing passengers grieving. Until now, they are still dying to know what happened to them. whether it was a technological malfunction or a terrorism plan that caused them to lose their loved ones. The disappearance of MH370 has resulted in the largest, most expensive search in the history of aviation accidents. Yet, it remains the case with the least clues that there has ever been. 26 nations have put in a joint effort to locate the plane wreck in an area of more than 120,000 square kilometers, which has a cost of more than $200 million. Yet, what have we found? A total of 36 pieces were confirmed and suspected from the jetliner, suggesting that the ill-fated aircraft that carried 239 passengers and crew ended up somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean. In 2018, National Geographic made a video that intends to demonstrate what probably happened to the plane based on recovered evidence. If you haven't watched that video, it shows the crew continuing to send signals to the air traffic control team before disappearing from the radar screen. In-depth analysis reveals that the jetliner fell at a remarkable speed. MH370 may have run out of fuel and thus crashed into the ocean. Documentarians believe that the right wing engine was the first to burst into flames. Then, the autopilot system ran out of electricity, causing the plane to fall uncontrollably in a spiral manner and land in the ocean. Of course, there are still theories that may or may not be true. Since the jetliner went into the unknown, the lives of the occupants' family members have been in disarray. What happened to the plane is yet to be solved, but there are no survivors is a certainty in which those who are in inconsolable grief refuse to believe. Theories of the tragedy. Of course, the actual fate of the plane and its occupants is yet to see the light. However, numerous theories have risen, many of which center on the belief that the tragedy was the result of human intervention rather than an accident. Right after the disappearance, various news outlets, including ABC News and the Los Angeles Times, have brought up the possibility that the whole situation may be a case of hijacking. Some people believe that the crazy hijackers drove the plane to a remote, unknown island from which the passengers and crew members can't escape. This theory is primarily supported by two pieces of evidence. The first of which is the online researchers have identified over 600 runways where the jetliner was capable of landing. In addition, there were early reports that some family members of Flight 370 passengers tried calling their loved ones and heard ringing instead of a busy or off signal. And these calls were made after the disappearance was announced. This sparked hope that the missing people were still alive. However, the Malaysian government has not confirmed any possible landing locations, and it was later suggested that the network may still produce ringbacks when searching for a connection, even if the cell phone has been destroyed. Over time, as fragments of MH370 wreckage were discovered, this theory has been less convincing. However, that doesn't mean the disappearance of the flight is definitely not related to political reasons. An American political commentator named Rush Limbaugh made a guess that the jetliner may have been shot down. Military forces shooting down civilian aircraft is, in fact, not unfamiliar at all. The Soviet Union shot down KAL-007, a Korean flight, in 1983. The US also shot down Iran Flight 655 in 1988. Some people, with the former head of Proteus Airlines, Mark Dugain, being a notable name, claimed that the US military personnel could have attacked the plane due to the fear of it being a 9/11 repeat. This sounds wild, doesn't it? But as long as the wreckage has not been fully found and recovered, shot-down theories still remain a possibility. Politics aside, there is still another possible human-related cause of the mysterious disappearance. Shortly after MH370 couldn't be found, media spread narratives suggesting that it may be the crew's suicide that was well planned for Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah. Early articles and reports claim that his wife and 3 children left his house the day before the Boeing, of which he was in charge, disappeared. And a friend of his revealed the captain was also having trouble with his relationship and another woman. While his family said that there were no domestic problems, one of his fellow pilots told the media that he was terribly upset that his marriage was on the brink of falling apart. Moreover, after conducting 170 interviews, investigators noted that Captain Shah did not make a single social or professional plan for after the 8th of March, the day his plane went to become a mystery. However, a dentist phoned him a few days before his disappearance, and he said he would return to get his tooth crown, as claimed by the French journalist Florence de Changuet. In July 2014, it was stated that if human intervention was proven, all those on board Boeing 777 could be a culprit. But of course, the captain would be the prime suspect. Anyways, guilty or innocent, the captain surely left his family and friends with lasting wounds. Alright, that's all about the disappearance and theories around MH370. I have to offer you today. Which theory do you believe in? Or do you have any other guesses? Who knows? Maybe the passengers and crew's members haven't died. They just somehow entered a time hole and are currently living in the future or the past, as some who believe time travel is possible have claimed. The truth still hasn't seen the light, so it's still open for speculation. We would love to know your theory in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others who may find it interesting, and subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss any videos about mind-blowing scientific facts and unsolved mysteries.